if I told you that squirrel hunters are throwing away money every time they go squirrel hunting and don't save these? At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to take those squirrel tails and sell them to make money. Yes, real money to bait companies that use the tails to make bait. And not only will you make a little bit of money, but man, you'll also not waste any part of the squirrel. I think that's the part that I enjoy the most. Stick around for the hunt. We're going to clean what we harvest, and then I'm going to show you how to make the most simplest, most delicious meal that you can make out of squirrel. Y'all hang tight. Guys, we finally got our first one in the bag. In the last video, you guys mentioned that y'all like using 22s and you like using 17 HMRs, and so that's what I'm using in this one. That's pretty bad. That's a headshot, so it looks pretty tough. But today, that's what we're doing. We got a 22 out here, and we're going to try to use it, ease through here, and harvest a handful, put them in the bag. Let's go find the next one. Man, if y'all are serious about squirrel hunting, you know you need to get the right gear. And I want to introduce you to the HuntPal vest. Man, this thing is made out of super heavy material, which I like. And another thing is when I put the squirrels in the vest, as you can see, it hasn't bled through. And the deal with that is it doesn't get all over me as I'm wearing it and carrying squirrel. The part that I probably like about this the best, is the dang storage, guys. You put your cell phone in here. I keep my gloves right here. And the other side, because I'm always running a camera so that you guys can hunt with me, I got a place for my batteries and a place for shells and TP. I always have TP. And you know the coolest part about this vest is it's always full of squirrels. I mean, it's always full of squirrels. I can't promise you that if you buy one it'll come full, but it won't take long to get some in it. I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't make such a good shot on that. I don't know why. It was right there close. You know, I sighted this 22 in at about 30 yards. And I probably need to remember when they're up here real close to me, I'm probably shooting about that much low, and that's about what I hit him. Anyhow. Alright, let's get him. I got another one down over here I'm gonna try to find. Finally. But he didn't fall all the way. Well, guys, this is the kind of stuff the squirrels have been in today. Let y'all look at that. And so it is extremely hard to weave a 22 bullet through that. Some of the areas I hunt are open. Man, you could put a 22 bullet in a Coke bottle top at 100 yards. But when you hit that stuff like that, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, because your bullet deflects if it hits those little limbs. And so I just shot a squirrel and it's hung up and I can't get it. And that is frustrating, but I guess that's real stuff right there. That's the way it is sometimes. So anyhow, I think I'm going to ease out and see if I can't find squirrels on the outside of this stuff. I can hear them in here. They're rutting and they're in this stuff heavy. I mean like 5, 6, 7 of them at one time. I can just catch glimpses of them, but I can't get shots at them. If I'd have brought my shotgun, I'd probably kill 4 of them, but I mean, it is what it is. Wanted to use my 22 today, and that's part of it. Type of timber you hunt in makes a lot of difference. So anyhow, this is still pretty timber, and I love squirrel hunting here. I love deer hunting in here. This real stuff. You know, out here in the woods, you have to be quiet to really slip up and kill one of these squirrels. But guys, you don't have to be quiet to hit that subscribe button. Just reach over and make some noise. Go. Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. All right, now we're in the house, and the first thing we need to do is to get our oven set on 350. Right there. I'm going to pour a little oil in the bottom of a skillet that we like to cook with here. You do not want to overfill this with oil. If you overfill this with oil, it just kind of makes your squirrel turn out greasy, so you don't want to do that. I probably put about, I don't know, probably less than 1/8 of an inch in there. I'm going to put the top on it, and I am going to drop this in the oven now. We have to let this heat up to 350. We're going to do all our cooking in the oven. None of it's going to be on the top. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, just take all-purpose flour. That's what I fry them with. Get me a Ziploc bag. I like putting a little salt in with it. The squirrel that I wanted to cook today, I have quartered up. And now, pull it out, shake it a little excess off. So as soon as our grease gets hot in the skillet, and I'll give it some time to heat up because I want it at 350. I'll probably check the temperature in the skillet in a minute. Once it gets hot, we'll go ahead and put the squirrel in the skillet. Our grease has probably got to the temperature it needs to be. This is hot when you touch it. Be careful. Let's just lay your squirrel that you're cooking in the skillet. Set the lid back on it and set it back in the oven. And we want to set our timer at 20 minutes. So after this cooks for 20 minutes, we're going to pull it out, we're going to flip it over, and we're going to slide it right back in there for 20 minutes. We're going to do this 3 times. So the squirrel will literally cook for an hour before we eat it. And I've already flipped this once. This will be the second time I've flipped it. Look there. Boy, they're browning up good. And I've decided to cook some brown rice with it. So I've got it cooking. I think our squirrel is ready. I believe our rice is ready. What you talking about? Let's pull this out. Let's look at this other side. See how it looks. Oh yeah. I wish I could smell this. So I take a little bit of Cavender's. I always do this after I take them out. Seems like it tastes better to me. And I like Dan-O's. Oh, that comes out real fast. Hope it's good, right? All right, let's let it sit for a minute because I've got some rice that needs about 5 more minutes. I've got sweet tea that I need to completely get stirred up. We'll be right back. For these squirrel tails, the way that you want to preserve these squirrel tails to send them in to Mepps so that they'll pay you for them is you want to leave the bone in them. You do not want to pull the bone out of them. I was told once you pull the bone out of them, they're absolutely worthless, so don't do that. Now, one thing that I'll do is I take just a little bit of salt, as you can see right there, and I try to put it on that meat right there, like that. You don't want to leave these squirrel tails out, so I have a box, and if you can see, they're going to fit perfectly in this box. And since they fit perfectly in there, I don't have to worry about them getting all wadded up. You don't want to put them outside. You don't want flies on them. I mean, you want to keep them as clean as you can before you get it to them. After I have the squirrel tails like this, I store them in the freezer. A couple other things that you'll need to know is do not put the squirrel tails in a plastic bag to ship them. You want them laid out straight. You want them where they'll stay straight in them. The squirrels that you want to try to harvest, that you want to sell the tails, are the ones that you harvest after October 1st. And the best time to mail these is the months of December, January, February, and March. You want to mail these when temperatures outside are still cold. You want to make sure inside the box before you mail them, you want to make sure that you put your name, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email. And you also want a count of how many tails are in the box when you send it. You want to use first class mail, first class parcel, or priority mail if it's under 10 pounds. UPS and ground for anything over 10 pounds. You want to pack it in the absolute smallest box that it will fit in when you send it. And if you'll wait till you get 50 tails in the box before you mail it, they'll actually pay your shipping back. So you're asking, how much are these things worth? Well, if you do it right and you send it, 25 cents a tail. For half tails, it's about 12 cents. You're not going to get rich, you're not going to make a killing, but just think, you're utilizing the entire squirrel. And here's something else pretty cool. If you're a fly fisher and if you use these types of baits and you would rather have in-store credit, they'll double the amount of value to them. So if it's 25 cents a tail, they'll give you 50 cents a tail for you to purchase one of their baits. Man, you can't beat this. All right, guys, we got it all ready. We got our squirrel, we got our rice, sweet tea, and I got a little bit of lemon. I like lemon. Man, let's thank the Lord for this and let's dig in. Jesus, I want to pause for just a second in my day and tell you how thankful I am, Lord, that you love me and you waited on me to surrender my heart to you before you come back and got us. Thank you so much for this food. Lord, I just pray and I ask that you would bless it for the nourishment of my body. I love you and ask this, Jesus, in your holy name. Amen. Man, let's see how this turned out. You know, as I was out there today thinking about how we're using every part of these squirrels, the meat for the table, the tails for profit, it struck me how nothing goes to waste. And that got me thinking about something deeper. See, we all go through seasons in life where we feel like we're just wasting time. Maybe it's a job that's going nowhere, or a relationship that fell apart, a dream that didn't work out the way you planned. And we look at those experiences and think, what was the point of all that? That was just wasted years, wasted effort. But here's what God's Word says in Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, and who have been called according to His purpose. Did you catch that? All things. Not just good things. Not just the victories and the answered prayers. All things. The hard seasons, the failures, the disappointment, the waiting periods that didn't make sense at the time. Just like these squirrel tails that most people throw away actually have value and purpose. God doesn't waste anything in your life. He's using it all, even the parts you thought were useless. Maybe you're in one of those seasons right now and you're feeling stuck. You're wondering why you're going through what you're going through. You can't see the purpose yet. Don't lose heart. God's not wasting this. He's working even when you can't see it. He's taking what looks worthless and He's creating something of value. Just like these tails that nobody wanted suddenly have purpose. Trust that He's going to use every single part of your story. Nothing's thrown away with Him. Nothing's wasted. Thanks for sticking with me today, guys, and I hope this hunt was helpful, and I hope this reminder encourages your heart. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.